Years and years ago, when the manufacturing of glass started, the first kind of glasses that were manufactured were clear glass. Now what happens when you install a clear glass onto the facade? It brings in a lot of natural daylight, but at the same time, it brings in a lot of heat from the sun. To rectify this problem, all the glass doctors sat together and came up with a solution: to put coatings on the glass. And that's when the practice of using coated glass onto the facade started. So today, if you want to use a coated glass, take a guess on how many coated glass options are available. The answer to this is that there are endless options to choose from. Given all these possibilities, how do you know that your coating is the right coating for your building? Come with me and let's discover the world of selectivity. For a coating to be efficient, the idea is that it should bring a lot of natural daylight inside the building and at the same time cut the excessive heat coming from the sun. So the selectivity of a glass becomes the ratio of the natural daylight coming through the glass to the heat from the sun that is coming inside the building. The heat from the sun is basically the solar factor of the product. Let us take an example to understand this better. Imagine I have a glass which has a light transmission of 70%, which means it allows 70% of the natural daylight to come inside, and a solar factor of 50%, which means it allows 50% of the heat from the sun to come inside the building. So the selectivity of this glass becomes the ratio of the light transmission, which is 70%, to the solar factor, which is 50%. Now hold on to this number and let's take another example. Now I have another glass which has the same light transmission as the first glass, which is 70%. However, in this case, the solar factor of the glass is 30%, which means it allows only 30% of the heat from the sun to come inside. So again, using the same formula, the selectivity of this glass becomes the ratio of the light transmission, which is 70%, to the solar factor, which is 30%. So now, what do we understand from all these calculations and numbers? There are two key takeaways for us. Number one, higher the selectivity of glass, it means it allows more natural daylight to come inside and at the same time cuts the excessive heat from the sun. Number two, now imagine if you see a glass which says the selectivity of this glass is 2. What does it mean to us? It means the amount of natural daylight that the glass allows is double the amount of heat that is coming inside. So remember always, a glass with higher selectivity brings in more natural daylight inside the building and at the same time cuts lots of heat from the sun. And that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.